Between us and you, a great chasm has been fixed, said Abraham to the rich man in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16:26. The story of Lazarus and the rich man is a serious warning, serious, grave warning given by Jesus Christ to remind us, to remind all people about the danger of hell. And the topic of hell is uncomfortable topic, and for most, or in most of the situations, most of the cases, we avoid talking about it. However, because we live in greatly dangerous times, and these dangerous times, they are dangerous because of the dismissal of the existence of hell. That's why they are dangerous. And this dismissal makes our times very dangerous, because when we dismiss hell, all kind of wrong, sinful, unlawful behaviors start to happen. Our world style of living, worldwide style of living, it glorifies people like this rich man. And how did this rich man live? He lived in a pattern, he lived in a way that hell doesn't exist. He made the purpose of his life to enjoy pleasure and to please his senses through sensual pleasure. And think about it. Who are the role models in our societies that we glorify? Think about it for a minute. And think about the resemblance between the rich man and the role models of our society. The structure of the society, the way it is, it's a society of consumption. It's built upon encouraging people to pay acute attention to eating, drinking, and having sensual pleasure. We are discouraged from striving to live by noble and divine principles. Everything around us encourages us to behave in a similar manner to the manner which this rich man behaved. And how is that manner? It's the same way any herd of animals behave. What do animals do? They're content with eating, drinking, and being comfortable. The philosophies of the modern age discourage the population worldwide to spend extra time, spend extra effort, push themselves to experience the divine pleasure. Pleasure, or rather true pleasure, cannot be found through the satisfaction of the senses. True satisfaction or true pleasure that brings true happiness and true comfort can be found only in the depth of the soul. We have grown experiencing only the taste of counterfeit happiness. We experienced counterfeit happiness so much that we forget how true happiness tastes or feels or it is like. Counterfeit happiness, fake happiness, comes from sensual satisfaction. But here is the catch. It lasts for a very brief period of time. It disappears very quickly. And it causes, upon its disappearance, it leaves behind bitterness and great disappointment. The story of Lazarus and the rich man is a serious warning that ought to be taken very seriously from the lips of Jesus Christ himself against being indulged and being overtaken and giving ourselves to sensual pleasures. It is obvious from the story that the Lord told about this rich man that the sensual pleasures is the mother of sin. Sensual pleasure is a poisonous spear, poisonous knife that causes the death of the soul. The effect of sensual pleasures on the human soul is eternal and more dangerously is fatal. The pleasures, the sensual pleasures that the person enjoys throughout their life, in violations of God's laws and in behaving in a way against the human nature, will become a fuel that will feed the eternal worms in hell. And if you think eternal worms in hell is a mythology, just read the Bible. It is on the lips of the Lord Jesus Christ himself. Upon the earth, the sensual pleasure is nothing but a bait. It hides inside it eternal pain. The judgment of God is mysterious. We don't know the judgment of God. The judgment of God does not resemble the human judgment. The way we judge people is very, very different from the way God judges people. We as people judge other people according to what is visible, and we fail to see what is lying underneath the surface. People fail to see the depth of the soul and the beauty of the soul of each person. The rich man of this parable was praised by people for his wealth. And it seems that he known Abraham. He was able to recognize him. So he was a religious person. He was not an atheist. His way of life was glorified as glamorous, even though he was nothing but a servant of his stomach. We are warned today by the Lord Jesus Christ to avoid dedicating our energies to enjoy this style of life. We are encouraged to see and to seek the wealth and the riches of the inner soul, as the case was with Lazarus. Lazarus had deep faith. He had patience. He had gentleness. he never kept count of evil actions against him. He did not have jealousy in his heart toward what others had in terms of wealth or possessions. Lazarus did not complain about his difficult situation or his illnesses. Lazarus did not judge the hardness or condemn the hardness of the heart of the rich man that he lived by his gate. When death came upon him, it says the angels, not one angel, angels in plural, God sent angels to escort Lazarus to heaven. They took him to the dwelling place of Abraham. The rich man sadly died, and the Lord said he was buried and he fell into hell. Maybe he had a great funeral when he died. But the dark and the ugly angels of hell came to take his soul, and they put him in a place of torment. Brothers and sisters, hell is real. Make no mistake. Hell is real. And if hell is not real, the entire coming of God and becoming man and the entire salvation has no meaning. If hell is not real, why does God have to become man? Why does he have to come to the earth? Why does he have to be crucified, to die, and to be buried? All of that would not make sense, will have no real meaning, will have no real purpose, unless hell is real. If you are dismissal of hell, you might want to reconsider your dismissal or your philosophy. If you are a Christian and you do not believe in hell, you might want to go back to square one and study from the beginning and read the Bible and see if those views hold true according to the Bible. Not every person that dies goes straight to heaven. Usually when we have funerals, they say he or she is in heaven. I don't know. I am not a prophet. God does not share his mysteries with me. One thing I know, there's some people who go to heaven, that others do not go to heaven. Going to heaven is not an automatic route for everyone. People upon death might either ascend to heaven or might fall into hell. In Hades, demons will remind each person that is there with the lost treasure of heaven. They will remind the person that by sharing love as part of their life, by sharing part of their positions, by being attentive, by being sensitive, by being loving, they could have gained the life of blessedness. Wealth, possessions, and earthly glory will stay upon the earth. It's not going anywhere. And upon our death, automatically, at that very moment, it is going to belong to somebody else. Even our clothing. The wealth and possessions will not benefit the person after dying. On the other hand, the virtues, those virtues that we saw with Lazarus, it's the development of the wealth of the soul, where the human person reaches its full potentials. It goes up, not it goes down to behave in a way similar to herd of animals, of eating and drinking and being content. Rather, developing all the energies and the wealth of the soul to become after or like after the example of Jesus Christ, reaching its full potentials. Those virtues will open the doors of eternal joy to eternal heaven to every soul, and will put them in the eternal presence of God. Thank you very much.